Hey friends, I just want to come on real quick and I just watched AnnieBears short about grief, and I watched it about 4 times, and it just made me think, um, like, what's the significance or purpose of having grief? Um, I mean, you know, uh, in regard, this is so, all of this is related to the loss of or not loss of Teresa Ford, but Teresa Ford's loss of her daughter suddenly, you know, just starts making you think about things and life and questioning everything. And, her Annie Bear's video was inspired by Teresa Ford and probably, as a tribute and remembrance or acknowledgement. But then I start thinking, because I always have to go down the rabbit hole, like, what is this about? What is this for? Like, what's the meaning? Whatever I can grab onto or try to figure out for myself and like figuring out um, my truth. And I just sit with the word grief and reflect on moments where I've experienced it and stuff like that. And the only thing I can come up with is like grief is an acknowledgement of love. Like I mean, we see it through the technical definition, but now I'm wondering if grief or sorrow is the same energy as love is, because both can feel so strongly, but we in the physical, we put different labels to it, kind of like the word aloha has like 100 different meanings, but the feeling is still the same. Or I think in I forgot what language, but there's like 400 different words for the word snow. But like, how can you have so many definitions for one thing, right? And so, like, is that feeling that we're feeling when we grieve or have grief or sorrow or sadness or loss, is it the same energy as love, light? I don't know. You know, like in the physical speaking, like, I've learned it to be different. But if I try to remove myself from being, you know, the physical body of Richard and being the spirit of, is it the same feeling? But for experience purposes, we give it a different meaning. Um, I don't know. I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Um, if you guys ever sat with this, I remember being watching a live and somebody was talking about pain, and not necessarily physical pain, but I think it was more so emotional pain. Like, and so I started questioning that also, and it made me feel like as I sat with it, it made me feel like pain is a multiplier of an experience. So like if you hurt because you got a divorce, or somebody you love left you, or somebody called you bad names or made fun of you. I started thinking, like, that those feelings that we feel, is it a multiplier or spirit's way of showing you, like, this is an experience that you intended to have, to learn or grow from? Like, you put this in your life, in your um in your life path, to experience, to understand, the duality or the feeling of pain and joy, um grief, sorrow, heartache, however you want to call it, or unconditional love, um God's light, you know um it's you know again, back in the body as Richard. it's it's too bad that we have this veil, to where we can't speak openly with spirit, or not openly, well, because we can, but things just seem like it's coded sometimes. Like, we have to, like, decode a message, like, if you were to read the hieroglyphics, in the pyramids, they paint pictures for you, and it tells the story, but you could lose the message by your interpretation. you know it's just unfortunate that sometimes, like, when you want the answer so much, it's so hard to get it. It's it's just it sucks, dealing going through, grief, and the loss of somebody. um just trying to be compassionate for Teresa, and thinking about um her moment right now, and with her family and stuff like that. It's just like, you know it took me back 5 months ago, to when my father-in-law crossed, and the pain, the loss, the anger, all the emotions. Like, why can't it be a celebration of somebody going home, or somebody not suffering anymore? And I know that, like, it can be, it's my choice. Um, but why do those feelings have to be so intense? You know, you know, like I said earlier, part of me thinks it's like an acknowledgement of the opposite, right? So if grief is so strong and sorrow is so powerful, then it has to be, the acknowledgement of, like, there was so much love, so much compassion, so much unconditional love, so much, you know, of pure light. But do we need to learn by the extremes? Like, is it still necessary for us to live that way and have such intense duality? Or is that stuff gonna go away from now on? A lot of people talk about ascension. Is that part of it? Like, when we go to a different 5D or 4D or whatever it is. I'm not like well versed in this kind of stuff, but does that stuff still exist moving forward? It just seems so, like, archaic. Like, we don't have to be this way. We don't have to learn or live or experience things so dramatically. I know it's, like, in our path, but does it have to remain in our path? I don't know. I just wanted to come on. It would have been a lot for me to type in Annie Bear's Annie Bear's comment, and I probably would have just like, I mean, I don't know. I ramble on anyway, but I don't know, that's what I was thinking. Um, if you guys have a better idea or concept or thought about what really is grief, not the technical definition, but like why it exists, why do we have to go through it? Like what's the purpose? Stuff like that. That'd be really cool if you shared it in the comments. Um, Still thinking of you, Teresa Ford. I hope today's a little bit better than yesterday for you and your family, and I hope tomorrow will be better than today. All right, that's all I got for now. Uh, See you guys on the next one.